Hello everybody, this is Nahid Oberfeld and I would like to welcome you to my video training series on how to tap. Today we're going to focus on the basics, which are what are the acupoints that we use to tap on and how long do we tap for. Those are some of the basic questions that I hear from a lot of beginning tappers, and that's what I'd like to address today. So starting with the acupoints, we generally start right at the karate chop point, which is just the side of your hand. It doesn't matter which hand you use, it doesn't matter how you tap on it, but you just want to be able to get a nice broad swath over here. So I like to use about 2 or 3 of my fingers. And I can tap, like I said, on either hand. It really doesn't matter. But this is where we generally start. And then from there, we move on to the top of the head. I take my fingers and the 3 middle fingers, and that's what I use. I use the tips of my 3 middle fingers, and I gently tap on the top of the head. And this is known as the top of the head point. And then from there, we move to the inner eye point. Now the inner eye point, I'm going to turn my head so that you can see it better, is where your eyebrow and your nose meet. Okay? That's your inner eye point. Now, you will see on YouTube especially that some people use both hands, some people use just one hand. I prefer to use both hands, and I prefer to tap on both points because it means both halves of our hemispheres, our brain hemispheres, are activated. And then after that, we move to the outer eye point, and again, I'm going to just turn my head, and you're aiming for the bone over here, that ridge right before your eye socket, okay? So that's where you want to go for. You should be able to feel that bone. And so I like to use both hands for the eye points. It's just my personal preference. And then underneath you go to the under eye point, which is kind of like straight down underneath. And again, you want to be able to feel that bony ridge right before you hit your eye. Okay? So this is the under the eye point. After that, we go under the nose. Okay, this is the under the nose point, and we just, right here where you feel that ridge between your lip and your nose, that's where we're tapping. And then we go a little bit lower and we hit the chin point. So again, the ridge that you feel over here, that's where we're aiming for. So all pretty basic. After that, we move to the collarbone point. So the collarbone point may be just a little bit more challenging. I want you to kind of feel for your collarbone. Okay, this is where mine is. And then, so here it is. And then I take my hands and make it into a little ball because I use the tips of my fingers to tap. So I feel for my bone. I go down about 1 inch, and that's where I tap. And you can tap a little bit harder over here. This is where your lymph nodes are. And so it really actually helps if you give a little, bit of a good thump over there. But again, personal preference, and it's not required. And then the next point that I want to address, and it's going to be the last point over here, is your underarm point. So you can use either hand. Okay, I'm using my left hand, just kind of reach over and directly below your armpit. So about 5 inches below your armpit. Might be a little tough for you to see over here, but for women, you're aiming for your bra strap. That's where you want to tap. Okay, so these are actually the basic tapping acupoints. A lot of people add some, I do as well, but I just wanted you to be aware of what the basic acupuncture points are so that you can start tapping on those. The next question is, well, how long do you tap for? Well, the amount of time that I spent in the video is about the amount of time that I spent on each acupoint. So it's just a few seconds. I spend a few seconds on each point and then I keep moving along. And once you complete all the points that I've just described to you, that makes one complete round. So I spend a few seconds per point, and then I do a couple of rounds, and then I stop, and then I reevaluate. How do I feel after it? And we're going to discuss that a little bit more. I'm going to explain it more about what it is that you're going to be evaluating and what you say while you're tapping. But the focus of this video was just to help you understand what the basic tapping points are. So I hope you are able to get something useful out of this, and I hope you watch the next video training.